All right. I forgot to put the SD card in the GoPro. So, I wasted 45 seconds. Basically, I've done nothing in this minute that's passed by. So, now I gotta figure out what is black doing. Good question. Well, he's gonna take my bishop. That's not cool. That's actually quite rude, sir. I don't know. What can we do with this guy? The concept that I should play h5 from the get-go seems to be less than palatable. That's the word. So, well, when in doubt, revert back to my 4 techniques. Check. We got knight checks, and a rook check on f3. So it's at knight f1 and knight e4. We got knight captures b3 and c4. King can't take anything. Nobody can take anything. Piece contacts. I mean, I can't even threaten, like, knight to f2 or knight to c2, or bishop can't attack rooks. Rook to f1. None of these moves does anything. So, I don't know. Maybe, board situation is clearly king takes bishop. That's really the thing that stands out in my mind. So I'm thinking, what happens if we do something like we move the bishop to like e2 with the idea of playing, say, knight e4 check. This rook to e1 stops every knight check unless I play bishop to e2 first. Oh, what about if I just play knight e4 check, king takes bishop, rook to f4 check, and where are you going, Bobby Fischer? King h3, then rook h4 is mate. King h5, it's mate. Idiot. The brute force wins. Man, I earned every bit of that one. That was not obvious. That took 20 minutes? Surely you jest. Okay, it was kicking my butt, man. I'm not going to lie. But I did beat him. 2,500. Kicked his butt. It's on, my brother. Okay, now, let's start all over again. What about... Okay. Holy moly. I sure would love to play bishop to f5. Well, heck, why don't I just play it? Bishop f5, queen takes bishop, check. He puts, like, say, knight b d2. Am I gaining anything? I mean, I thought I was winning a rook, but I'm not. I wasn't winning a rook, but I thought I was. Bishop f5, queen takes bishop, check. Knight b d2 is the move for sure. But I don't really have another move. Rook to e8. That bishop is not moving. Threatening to play queen takes rook. Then you play rook takes bishop. How are you going to defend? I don't know. This is all I can figure out. If this ain't it, well, and it is it. I'll just chop this jerk right off the field. Do I think that was 2,700? No. But 9 minutes and change, it was 2,500 plus. That was super hard. It took me forever to realize that that bishop was an immovable target. Hey man, sometimes you see things faster than others. I don't know. I can't explain it to you any better than that. Maybe if I was 2,700, I could explain it better. But I'm not, so I can't. But, pardon me, the only thing you have to know is that I'm 2-0. That's the only part that really matters. I'm 2-0, baby. Well, obviously we're under check. And queen to e6 loses. So, you have two choices. You only have two good moves. Either king g7 or king g5. I'm thinking king g5 is potentially the right move. Because his rook is pinned by our queen. So, he's staring down the barrel of queen e1 check, which is winning. So I'm thinking king g5. Okay, this is the way you have to phrase this in your mind as a player. I'm in this tournament game. This is the situation. My question is, I think I have what is an indefensible attack. So I've got to see if I can figure a way to wriggle out of these dadgum checks from his queen. So I'm thinking king g5. And then, you know, he really only has like queen d8 check. Which I can play bishop to f6. That's not the greatest move in town, but it's pretty good. I mean, it discovers the attack on his queen. But it doesn't get, you know, I don't have the same mega mate threat that I had. So this is a bishops of opposite colored, you know, attack that's happening. So my rule is that we're going to win on dark squares, and so we have to avoid light squares because that's his bishop's bread and butter. So that would be a good move too. Good question. So I'm thinking, see, king g7 to me, I'm asking for it because when he checks me on the back rank, he gets to move in with queen to g8. So by the fact that eventually going here, he's going to check me and get this queen here, I can't go there. King g5 was the move. Now here's the real question. Can I play this move of king f4, or is it bishop? It's either king f4 or bishop to f6 is the move. So that is the actual move I got to think about. The bishop c2 is not a threat in any way. Bishop to f6, I'm not really threatening checkmate either. But he can't play bishop here because I would just queen check him. He'd move his rook, I'd take his rook with check, and then rook would take his queen. So bishop to c2 is not really a problem. I'm just wondering if I can go king to f4. You know, but again, you know, then king to e3. But it kind of blocks my own pieces in. So and I'm blocking my bishop anyway. So I'm thinking this bishop move is a better idea, but hard to say, as I don't see, the thing I don't see is a follow-up after this for myself for whatever he plays. Oh, I've got one check, which is, well, I guess I have rook to d2 is an upcoming move. But it seems as if he should have no trouble defending his rook with like something to d5 or whatever. Well, bishop f6, queen goes to, I don't know. Where's this queen going to go is the question. Let's just say queen to f8. That doesn't do much. I'm thinking bishop is it. This king, to me, this doesn't work because I'm trapped. I get trapped here, and I'm blocking my bishop differently. So I like this better. Just conceptually. I mean, this guy is a jerk. If I take this pawn, queen takes bishop. Okay. I swear I don't know what's going on here. Oh, queen takes. Oh, geez, yes. Here's what I saw. King takes, queen takes. G5, checkmate. But queen takes check, king to here, and you dead. Okay, we have pinned this guy into the Stone Age. We cannot play this move. Rook here cannot be played. Well, I thought this was looking good. There's something I must be missing. What am I missing here? There's no move I can make that allows me to get my king out of the way to checkmate him as a reply to his, if he takes my bishop. So I'm defaulting now bishop to b6 as the move that seemingly has to be played. You know, that bishop to b6 has advantages in that if he's running into two possibilities, either rook d5 followed by rook to a5, or he's also running into king b7, rook a8. So to me, bishop to here. Now he could play d5. It doesn't matter. I mean, whatever. d5 is not that devastating. I would just take his rook if he took my knight. So, or actually, oh, d5, I would just play rook takes d5, right? No, I can't do that. You got two defenders there. His queen and his rook would defend d5. So I can't do that. However, man, this guy is a jerk weed. Maybe he's not threatening to take my... Well, he's going to take the bishop with his queen, that freak. So... Well, I can't... See, I can't go king to a7. Queen takes free bishop. Check. I'm like, really? So king b7, no good. I have a8 and c8. Or bishop to b6. I think bishop to b6. Bishop to b6 is pretty good because... Man, dang it, man. I thought I had knight a7. What about bishop to b6, d5, queen takes bishop. Good enough for me, man. If this move loses, well, more power to him. Yeah, it looks like it's forced to me. You know, this move, the thing is, he's going to, if he plays pawn takes, he's threatening to go here and checkmate me. So he can't take it. But he could do that. You know, that's okay. I'm still surviving when I was on the brink of destruction. Well, now it's possible that we could be trying. You know, that's okay. I'm still surviving when I was on the brink of destruction. Well, now it's possible that we could be trying to break the attack because we have a winning pawn structure. Well, I say winning. It's an advantageous pawn structure. His D pawn is incredibly weak. I do have the idea of, ooh, well, it doesn't really do anything. I was thinking of playing Queen E2 with the idea of checkmating him, but I don't think that's really effective because my B pawn's not guarded. So that was my idea. Was like Queen E2 followed by Queen to A6 check. King, well, it still might be good because I'd check him. He'd go takes pawn. I would go Queen to A5 check. He's got to play Queen to C4. It's his only legal move. But, you know, am I doing anything good? I don't know. It doesn't look too great to me because he got too much on D5. So we have to do what? I could play Queen to C5. You know, this threatens to checkmate him and also it breaks his attack. If he played Queen takes Queen, I'd play Bishop takes Queen. And, you know, his attack is completely squashed. And it was looking very strong. Hard to believe this is the solution, but it just might be. Sometimes that's all it takes. Although, Queen C5, well, Queen C5, yeah, threatens mate. I was going to say Knight to E5 for him, and I can't take queens because he forks me, but I don't. I just checkmate him. So he's threatening to play Knight to C5 directly if I don't stop it. But I just don't think stopping this with some random move of F6 is the right move. It doesn't feel correct. You know, we still have this looming threat of King B5, King A6, checkmate. Queen C5 will stop that. So my spidey senses are telling me I need to stop the mating attack. He also has potentially King takes B4, followed by Rook to A1. I don't like anything except this. And it doesn't like it for whatever reason. This can't be the move. Why? That's not right. Idiot, you should go. Yeah, now you're screwed. Well, see, now this is not right. Check. Oh, yes. No, that's no good. Here threatens this, which is mating. Not really. Check. Oh, idiot. It's bishop checks, not Queen A5. I misevaluated it. That's the killer. This is the killing move that I did not... I mean, I got to that position right here and thought, oh, I would just check him here. And he escapes. Well, yeah, except that's not the move. That's the move that I did not see. Which was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which I saw this, 6, 7, 8. On move 9, I did not see bishop to a5 check was the winning move. I got to this position and thought queen here was the only move. Hey, nobody's perfect. But it was 9 moves deep that it got me. So you can't feel terrible about that. Yeah, you're completely dust, dude. So yes, that was a 2750, and it was every bit of 2700. That one kicked my butt fair and square. I had it, but missed the bishop check instead of, only saw queen check. I did not see bishop check. So hey, if that's what it takes to beat me, that's a tremendous result for myself. I don't feel bad about that at all. That was a super difficult problem. Okay, but we're 3-1. Basically, we're in the final round of a 5-round tournament, going up against monster competition, and I'm 3-1. In real life, that's very good, and I have a chance. I'm in position to win again. Can't argue with that. So the question is, what in the heck is going on here? This one looks like a muncher to me. We have, things that come to mind. Rook e to c1. Doesn't really do much, to be honest. We're not gaining any attacking. What do you call it? Conflict of powers, where my pieces are beating, the rook beats the queen because the rook is cheaper, that kind of stuff. The knight beats the rook because the knight is cheaper. We have the conflict of the powers. Hey, I don't know, man. Let's go back and knight takes h7, knight takes f7, knight takes e6, knight f6 check. Either rook can go to c1, but I think the rook on b should not leave the blockade of the pawn. That's just my gut reaction. My spidey sense tells me don't move the rook from blockading the pawn. So I would say rook e c1, not the other way around. Dun, 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 dun. I have queen f3, which is a contact move. Piece contact, queen f3 threatens, queen f7. He only has one defender, which is that bishop defending by attacking my knight. So queen f3 might be useful. Also, knight f6 check, and I would think probability is he'd have to take. Kind of dicey. He doesn't have to take it directly. So another possibility, though, would be knight takes f7. This is the thing I was talking to my friend. He came over here and we were discussing, and I was showing him, some of the videos I had that weren't posted yet. And we were having discussions on these, chess in general, showing him some other problems. And so, like, I have an expansion of rules. I mean, I concentrate on the 4 rules, but there's another expansion rule I'm going to tell you about that we were discussing this. And the expansion rule is I also want to really focus on squares where only the king defends. So, knight takes f7 gets special consideration because it's obviously a capture, but it's a square defended only by the king. So historically, those squares tend to be extremely weak and are the subjects of demolition sacrifices, you know, throughout history, for hundreds of years. You know, knight takes f7, for example, knight takes f2, or bishop takes on either one of those squares. So knight takes f7 has potential because we could hit that guy with queen to f4, which allows us to transfer from white to black squares with tempo on the king. So like knight f7, king takes, queen goes to f4, and you know he runs into problems because we're threatening to go queen to h6 followed by queen to g7 mate. But if he goes to king to e8, then we have knight g7 check, and he'd have either d8 or d7, and we could jump right in there with queen to f7. And now, which gives us, you know, all kinds of potentials, because we're threatening to once again play rook e c1 with a breakthrough possibly. So this knight f7 looks very attractive. Knight takes f7, king takes f7. Man, our knight on h5 is also under attack. Man, what a freak. So knight f7, king f7, queen f4 check. You know, he could interpose, but I don't think that's good. I think it just, you know, queen takes f6 and he's getting annihilated. Okay, so we got to consider that. But queen f4 check, king g8, like I said, looks like absolute doom. However, our knight is under attack at h5, so we could play knight check, bishop takes, queen takes. You know, we're not really mating him like I thought we were. I didn't realize, when I was thinking about this, I wasn't paying attention to the fact that the what do you call it? Knight was under assault. Knight f7, queen f4 check after he takes it. King to g8. Is that playable? Well, that's an interesting idea. We could possibly go, I'm going to look at this knight f6 check, bishop takes, pawn takes, and once again threatening knight f7, but I really don't think it's that good. I think knight f7 is only good with queen to f4. The other thing is, this might help you. This will do it. I was telling my friend the same thing that I'm going to show you guys. All right, it's like when you divide the board in half, look where all the pieces you have are. White is overwhelming the king side. Okay, so that was an idea that I was explaining to him. Sometimes you divide the board in half, it'll help you get an idea where you need to concentrate your focus. So knight takes f7, king takes, queen f4 check. I don't know. I just think king e8, clearly knight g7 check is the move for that. I don't know. King to d7, would that be the right move? Because we would come in there for sure. King d7 has problems because we would go queen f7 with the idea of bishop to g5 as one idea. The other idea, of course, would be rook to c1. I don't see a knockout here. I don't see that we're getting close to one either. That's the thing. Bam, bam, bam. I don't see queen to f3 check being really any better. Like queen f4, queen f3, they all look the same. So a queen, queen f4 or f3 check, king to g8. This is the toughie. I don't know if knight f6 check. Bishop takes. Oh, if I'm on f4, yes. I have e takes. Now we're getting somewhere. All right, knight f7, king f7. Queen f4 check is the correct move. All right. Indirectly, you could call this, it's very similar to bishops of opposite colors in the context that our white bishop, our dark squared bishop, we can win on the square of the dark squared bishop. It's a possibility because we got knight takes, king takes, queen checks. If he goes to g8, knight f6 check. Bishop takes, not queen takes, but pawn takes. Might be the way to go. He can defend the second rank, though. That's the only problem. That is the problem. But it's hard to say, actually. But that queen f4 check followed by knight to f6 could be devastating. Or, actually, maybe not. I have another idea. Knight f7, king f7, queen f4 check, king g8. Literally playing queen h6, forcing him to take the knight. Unfortunately, we could just, I can't do that. But we could do, I don't know, the check, go here, and this is a nasty move. Oh. Yes, queen f4 is correct. Knight f7 is the move. Unless, of course, it isn't, somehow. Wow, I have no idea how that's not the move. It beats me, man. Do this first. Okay. Now I swear that knight f7 was the move, but okay, I guess I couldn't find a knockout. Idiot. That's the other thing I forgot to do, was reverse the order of my moves. Instead of knight f7, queen f4, try queen f4 first. Which I did mention that way back in the very beginning, dummy. Yeah, he takes it, and queen takes, because he's staring down the barrel of knight checks. Or actually, yeah, now he's staring down the barrel of knight checks. He's also staring down the barrel of queen h6, followed by bishop g5 and bishop f6. He is directly staring down the 2200. Yeah, I don't know about that. I had this but I got the order wrong. I had the moves down. I had this dude. You can't do jack there. Here he goes to there. Yeah, it's just queen f6 is coming. The next move is going to be queen to f6, threatening mate. He has to take it. I don't care what he does there. And then bishop g6, bishop h6, and he's mated. There's nothing he can do that matters to me. You know, he could check me, and then I take this. He could play b2. I'm still going to go right here. He's still going to take it. And I'm going to play bishop here, and no matter what he does, he can queen. I'll still mate him. So, man, this was really close. I blew that one. But I had it. I should have gotten this one correct. Yeah, well, nobody's perfect. That's the old, you have the right moves, but your order is wrong. And your moves are correct if you flip-flop the order. And I know this. And it still happens. This is why you practice. Because you work on your errors, and then you learn them one way, you know, or another, and then one by one you pluck them off. So that was really a good one. So hopefully you enjoyed it. You guys know what to do. I'll talk to you later.